question. What if a white said not showering every day is a black or Latino thing?
Well, same thing. That's less offensive than me bringing up ribs and fried chicken. But Dan, you're spot on. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, could you even imagine? I mean, in this case, it's like, hey, you know what? Gosh, my mom's half black and half Puerto Rican, and white people don't shower much. Everyone's like, oh, wow. But if some white guy came on and said, my dad is half Irish and half Swedish, but my girlfriend is Hispanic, and you know what? Those brown people, they don't shower all that often.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Yeah, it should be out of control. Or think about this. I mean, just here we are riffing on this, but that's part of what's fun, you guys, about listening to us, and why you should tell your friends to listen as well. Let's assume that a black, Hispanic, anyone of color person sitting and listening to Naya Rivera and going, damn, that's true. And then in a nanosecond thinking, my mom of color showers every day as well. And then she just hops on ancestry.com to try to figure out if there's a white person in her background. I mean, this could be very problematic for a lot of people in this country.
Yeah, it is. There are all kinds, I suppose, of racial and cultural and I don't know. It's interesting. On a more serious topic about this, I posted on my Facebook wall. I believe it was on Monday night. Victor Davis Hanson wrote a column talking about race and culture, and his point that it was pretty interesting to me. In fact, we should maybe explore it just a little bit. His point is that the Democrats, their attempts at dividing the country by race is actually backfiring, and it's really not going to be going any further. Primarily because, number one, it was a unique compendium of events that all these people voted for Obama. But his other point was even stronger. He said that class is a better predictor than race is, because the white guy in the Appalachians who's got a lawnmower repair business has more in common with poor black folks than Latina who's attending graduate school somewhere.
Well, there's no question. Listen, when by the way, just as not a digression, but when you and I talk about the smart people that we admire, Dr. Thomas Sowell, Dr. Walter E. Williams, Mark Levin, and stuff like that, you and I both love Victor Davis Hanson. This guy is a brainiac, and we should never leave him out.
Yeah. This is his comment. Class is always a more telling divide than race. In contemporary straitjacket democratic orthodoxy, there's no concession that a white male mechanic could face more economic difficulty than a Latina journalist, African-American federal employee, or an Asian dentist. Lockstep obedience to the mantras of diversity, affirmative action, and preferential hiring does not allow that race can be increasingly divorced from class.
There's no question, and that points exactly to the obscene hypocrisy of the leftist elitists. They know that. You know that. I mean, dude, I've lived in a few really nice neighborhoods in my life, and in the last two, not only had black neighbors across the street, one of them, two houses down, another. But really good friends of mine. And I'm not saying, I'm friends with the blacks, so that's not where I'm going. Yet I've driven down streets in Indianapolis where every other house was, regardless of color, was someone on the down and out, whatever have you. The Democrats know that. Yet, to Victor Davis Hanson's point, they pretend it's not true and just kind of push the whole thing.
Yeah, somehow they're trying to cobble together that your skin color has more of an influence on your life than the traditions you were raised with, the education that you received, the location of the city that you're in, the attitudes that all the people that are around you have. And it's just not true.
Well, of course not. And final Jeopardy question on that topic is, and they do that why?
Voting blocks and cobbling together groups that could potentially share grievances.
And how much of your $12,684 did you wager on that bet?
I didn't actually. I'd probably put it all in on that.
Yes, I was going to say all, and then you are the champion for the day.
Yeah, that would be something that I would shove the entire stack into the center of the table on.
Bingo. So let's talk about these Hollywood moms.
Okay, so this is hilarious. My buddy Trent sent this to me this morning. Apparently, you had seen it as well. And it was in it's in the Hollywood Reporter. The title is 23 Hollywood Moms with Same Sperm Donor Go on Vacation.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
Right. And it's a story about a writer-producer for a couple of different shows. It was a single mom. And she started up, like many single women in this particular type of thing. She started shopping online sperm donor browsing. And she's looking at things like, do they have Alzheimer's in their history? How do they feel about acupuncture and wheatgrass juicing? There's a process called, I don't even, well, I won't even mention that.
Yeah,
anyway, so after a couple of years, she found the sperm donor that she wanted. And this stuff has been around for a while.
Right.
She had a kid when she was age 40. She realized she's in a music class. The kid was a couple years old, at a toddler. They're in a music class. And one of the boys looks so familiar.
Wow,
and she's looking at the kid. She goes home and she's in a Facebook group that was put together by the doctor that did the fertility doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And all these women are members of the same group. And she realized that the same sperm donor had been used for her daughter and the other woman's son. So they're in effect half siblings.
You know what? You can't make it up. They're stepbrothers and sisters.
Right. And then she went into it further and realized that in this group, there were 12 two-year-old kids that all shared the same dad.
It's just, again, you can't make it up. Now, before we continue, let me throw in a serious question or hypothesis. This has to increase the chances of, shall we call it? Well, we can't talk about Kentucky, right? Because is Danny from Kentucky?
No, my son Jack.
Your son Jack was. So anyway, you know where I'm headed with this.
I do.
I mean, how can this not, particularly when stuff is concentrated in a somewhat local area, how can this not eventually come to a brother and sister, half brother and sister who do not know each other, getting married, dude?
Okay, that's a very interesting question because there they are in Santa Monica. Then they're going to be at Los Feliz Daycare, and then they're going to be
shopping at what's the name of that co-op?
At Whole Wellness Co-op.
Whole Wellness Co-op.
Right. Then they're going to go to, I forget the name of the hippy dippy school in the Palisades that Gwyneth Paltrow went to. And then they're going to go to Harvard. And then they're going to get, from the JFK school, they're going to get a master's degree in public policy. And at some point during their post-grad work with the International Peace Corps, they're going to meet, fall in love, and have children.
And see, the more this happens, the more Santa Monica is going to end up like Great Britain.
You know what? You're going to be able to stroll through Santa Monica 25 years from now, and it's going to be one loud collective chorus of dueling banjos.
There's no question. And you know, when someone like kills someone or knocks off a liquor store or whatever, and there's an artist rendering, everybody's going to think that it's them
because they're all the same.
Right. This could be very problematic down the road.
You know what's interesting, man? The other side about this article, there is a incredible amount of money being spent and made in this whole topic.
Oh, I mean,
to to get an egg donor, to get a sperm donor going through the process of washing and cleaning the sperm and making sure it's the height of fertility, and then sticking that fertilized donor egg and the donor sperm in somebody else's womb. I mean, it's like it's 10 grand just to do an egg retrieval. I mean, I bet you that whole process. Let's see here. Carrying bay 20 to 30. It's like a $70,000 or $80,000 process to go from one end to the other about it.
Yes. And this, again, you and I often get our entrepreneurial wheels spinning when we talk about various things.
Okay, because I just came up with an idea, but I'm not sure I'm going to mention it.
I think you and I could provide a similar service at a much, shall we call it, less expensive cost.
Yeah, but the problem is when they're going to go back and look at the bio, they're going to want to find out if we've done wheatgrass juice cleanses regularly for the last decade. We're going to say no.
Well, speak for yourself.
Oh my gosh, man. Now that is now, you know what's interesting is that you think about this. Think about the context of bubble children and helicopter parenting. Mm-hmm. 5 or 6 generations ago when families had 12 kids and they're living on the farm,
right.
It's like, hey, where's the 9-year-old? Well, the last time I saw him, he was out driving the hay baler on the back 40. Well, dinner's going to be ready. Hopefully he's back soon. Nowadays, some 42-year-old wealthy Brentwood dwelling leftist spends $80,000 to get a precious snowflake child inside of her. No wonder slides are illegal and merry-go-rounds are illegal and bumper cars are illegal, and kids should probably be wearing bicycle helmets 100% of their waking hours, because the amount of time and energy and money invested to get that kid is
you have just exposed the political conspiracy here, because this is a way to engineer liberals.
Oh, but it's a pretty slow one at a time process, man.
Dude, listen, liberals are like Muslims. They never forget. So this is listen, they got the next couple of generations covered just with legalizing illegal aliens. Okay, so
right.
these people call this an investment. These people are thinking down the road.
Well, I'm not. I am not so sure that I would assign such an insidious motivation to it.
No, because they would never do anything like that. Yeah.
I mean, imagine you're in Brentwood and you're at a park, and your precious snowflake is considering to go up on the monkey bars, which are 7 or 8 feet off the ground. I mean, right. The last thing you're going to do is risk that child falling and snapping their neck.
Well, yeah.
And you're going to want cradle-to-grave care for them.
Well, exactly. Never underestimate the intent or the multiple intents of a liberal, dude.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, man. Mm. And that does. I don't know if we have enough time to it, but it seems like there's a little bit pushback about the. We don't have time to get to this gender neutral.
No, we're under 2 minutes, dude. So, but anyway, yeah, stuff like this is interesting, and of course we jest quite a bit, and my comments relative to the ultimate intent of the Democrats was in jest, not. But that's why we do what we do. So, pretty fun segment, dude. We're out of time, believe it or not. Can you believe it? That was a fun segment.
Actually, yeah. I totally can.
All right, so listen, y'all. This is the Right Mics with Mike Miller, Michael Howes, and we will be back after the break with Sonny Lohman. Don't go away.